Hey.
On time.
What was that? Oh, yeah. On time for the first time in a little while. I almost did it early, but you don't want to be early. That's too early. Early is too early. This is full 42. Bunch of geeks talking about geek stuff, board games mostly. Today we're doing top 5
dice games.
Dice games. That's right. I couldn't get the word geek out of my head. Top 5 geeks? That'd be a different thing.
Totally different.
Like and subscribe, please. All that wonderful stuff.
Thanks, Alan.
Hey, Alan.
On time. So we'll get into the top 5 in just a minute. And after that, we're going to play Dice Miner, which is a dice game.
Mm-hmm.
I've only played once virtually with you guys. So this will be my second time playing. I don't remember how I did. Probably poorly.
I don't remember.
Probably very bad.
Probably. But I did like the game enough to put it on a wish list somewhere that, I haven't bought a game in like 2 months. It's weird.
Well, you've been busy.
Yeah. Actually, I have been getting Kickstarters. I've got Tendaya in, and I got Endless Winter in.
Oh,
Those were fun to pop this week. I also got the Mountain King one, but someone stole it off my porch this morning.
What?
Yeah, it's gone. So I have to report that tomorrow. It happens.
Damn people.
Every time I'm part of a fulfillment or something like that, you get reports of it happening. Sometimes I've seen video of it happening with other games. It's weird. I just don't get it. But it's a game, so it'll get replaced. Something will happen. It's not like I can play it right now anyway. I don't have a game table. I have to make. I'm going to make my own game table. I should do a video of that.
You should definitely. Yeah. You should definitely catalog that.
Yeah, videos and pictures.
I got all the saws and like the what's that called? Hammers. All that stuff. I've been watching YouTube.
And I have a lot of faith in the result.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've never built furniture before.
You should also make a bloopers video of all the mishaps. I want to see that.
I think that just goes along with the video, right?
Yes.
I've cut a few things with the tools and stuff, but but first I have to finish my game room, and we're gonna paint it and all that stuff first. So.
Sure.
Right now I still have all of my games in boxes, so that's why I haven't bought games for so long, because I just can't buy new games if they're still in boxes, right? So. Right. But yeah, and that's why, my background isn't as fun and everything as yours, because still moving in.
All right. We're not judging you much.
What was that?
So we're not judging you much.
Well,
much? A little bit. You can judge a little bit.
Much.
Ooh. So all my Magic Gathering. I don't have any Magic cards. Well, that's not true. I have like a stack of Magic cards, but I'm sure they're all just crap. I just bought them as one big thing to like learn Magic at one point and then never really learned it. Yeah. So anyway, that's us. Hey, Scott.
Hey, Scott.
Hey, Scott.
So we're going to talk about top 5 dice games. We're going to play Dice Miner, and we already have next week lined up.
Yeah. So we got Andrew Wolf next week. We're going to talk. It's a good time for Scott to pop in. We're going to talk Essen and his experience over in Essen. I saw Scott's posts of all the games he's bringing back for BGG Con, and my Lord, I'm jealous. I want to be there. And then I think next week, in addition to Essen Talk, we'll go over our top 5 Star Wars moments. We've been waiting to do that one for a minute. So that'll be fun.
And that's encompassing all of Star Wars, right? Up to that date. But we'll exclude Andor because it's too soon.
Right. And I mean, I don't think any Star Wars moment is going to be coming from Andor. At least from what I've seen. 29 boxes. Holy shit.
You've only seen the first 2 episodes? Is that right?
Yeah, and man, if I ever had insomnia and I wanted to go to sleep, I would put on that first episode again.
Here's what I'm going to tell you, okay? The first day that they released 3 episodes, and there's a reason.
Yeah.
The third one picks it up.
I don't think you should have stopped at 2.
Yeah, the 2 is slow, guaranteed. But it builds and builds, and then on third one, it's going to be like, okay, now I'm in. So.
Yeah, I believe it. I'm not poo-pooing it. I'm just saying, like, wow.
They really took time to build all that stuff. But yeah, it was 2 episodes of him like panicking about what he did. But anyway, we're not going to talk about all that right now. We'll talk about it next week, right? Top 5 Star Wars. It's been a while since we've done a non-top 5 board game thing too. So
yeah, that's true.
And we'll do other stuff too. We'll probably play a game or something, right?
Yeah. Well, we can figure out something on theme, right? If we're going to go over, I mean, obviously we'll do SN, but if we're going to talk Star Wars stuff, maybe we can do something. I don't know if Jabba's Palace, the love letter thing, is digital or something, but we'll figure something out.
Yeah. So other than top 5, so last week I started off with announcements, right? And I thought I should try to make that a thing every week, right? So I got more stuff. Announcements. No new announcements. So, but it's a thing. Now it's a thing every week, So if next week I have announcements,
okay.
Yeah, I forgot to write anything down.
But this week in the announcements, there are no announcements.
Yeah, no new announcements, but there is an announcement section
that
now.
in itself is the announcement.
Yes. I also wrote down, like, throughout the week, I thought, oh, that might be fun to kind of ask about, stuff like the Mario movie. Thoughts on the trailers?
I haven't even seen it.
You haven't seen a trailer for it?
I didn't know there was a Mario movie.
Well, a trailer for it. The movie's not out yet.
Yeah, no, but I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, you should see it. It's excellent.
I will.
Yeah, you should see this trailer. The people are having issues about Chris Pratt being the voice for Mario. I see that you're having issues.
That guy, I don't know why. I feel like I missed something around him. But there was something to do with the Guardians of the Galaxy too that people were like upset about. I don't know. I think I missed the whole reason why people hate him so much now. I don't know
if people hate him.
I keep seeing stuff that I keep seeing stuff about him, but I don't know why, like the root of it. So
yeah, we posted someone posted the Mario trailer on the Discord.
Yeah, it's on the
full 42 Discord. Yeah, I think he came out kind of strongly for as like a Christian. I don't know if it's Baptist or not, but basically that, which kind of puts him in one camp, which causes political blah blah blah. But as far as I know, he hasn't like said anything or done anything that's like been terribly offensive. Just I don't really understand. Like, I have not seen a quote from him that be like, ooh, man, I don't know, I don't like this guy anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah,
I think there's a lot of
people just hate him from fucking up Infinity War
because he did. It was all his fault.
It's just his fault. Like, it's all his fault.
If they had just used time travel to go back in time and stop him from punching Thanos in the head, they would have been fine.
They would have been fine. Agreed.
Well, we solved that. That's kind of like the how it should have ended videos. Have you watched those before? Yeah. It's almost. I know some people haven't seen not Ragnarok, the Love and Thunder yet. So I won't say anything. But theirs makes you go like, oh man, now I don't like. Like, it almost makes you go like, that's a plot hole. So they're good at that though.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. People have opinions of Pratt.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is. I think this is what the problem was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, I mean, I'm ignorant of that stuff. So
Yeah, so I didn't look into it. I mean, he's an actor that makes a shit ton of money and just play fucking Star-Lord, man. Like I don't not invite you over for dinner. I want to see a good movie, and that's what you get paid for. So.
But I thought the issue with him being Mario was that he's not Italian, or if he is Italian, he's not very Italian.
Is the voice of Mario Italian?
Oh yeah. Both
I
Mario
mean,
and Luigi.
Almost insultingly so, right?
Yeah.
Like it's over the top. It's a Mario, it's like that. It's like it's that characterization of Italian that's almost like. So I think they actually tried to tone it down by getting Chris Pratt to do it, and then people are going, "That's not what Mario sounds like." So I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he's not.
I don't know if he is or not, but I know that he's not doing the voice like that. So,
I mean, his name's Charles Martinet, and I don't want to say anything about last names, but born in California. I mean, if they have a problem with Pratt being it, then I mean, Jesus, state.
I don't know what the exact problem is because I don't usually dig into that stuff. Usually, I'm just like, I don't care if people complain about stupid stuff like that. But my guess is that it was just because he wasn't sounding like, or that they weren't using the guy who does the voice all the time anyway.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
But you got to sell them tickets.
That's
I
true.
do like that they have Jack Black as Bowser, though.
Oh God, you ruined it for me. Fuck.
Why did I ruin it? Because you don't like Jack Black?
I'm not a fan. Go back to like one of last year's episodes where I ranted about.
Yeah, I remember that. That.
That's why I brought it up.
Oh, God.
He does a great job. Did you not see Jumanji?
Oh, that he did a great job in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
But he
Oh, here's Scott's because of he treated. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to hate anybody really, but I guess yeah, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, same. I knew there had to be something I missed, and that's probably it. So that explains things.
Jack Black.
But yeah, no, he was great in Jumanji. That whole the first movie was like not okay. So they did a 1 and a 2 of the new ones, but yeah, the first one is great. The second one was okay, but first.
There he is.
Hey, Andrew.
There's next week's guest.
Speak of the devil.
Yeah.
Glad you made it home safe, buddy.
Glad
you made it home safely. Glad you made it home safely. Sorry, grammar.
Yeah, that's good TV. All right, so let's talk about our top 5 dice games, right? So
yes.
all we did when we talk about these things, generally we just go top 5, blah blah blah, and we all say yes or no, and we keep saying top 5s until everybody says yes, and then we just go on about it. We don't discuss what that means or anything, because I like to save that discussion for here and then make fun of each other for being different.
Also, you don't need a reason to make fun of me. That basically is every episode for one reason or another.
I need different reasons. We got to keep it fresh.
Sure, yeah. It's like I'm the Jack Black of the show.
Yeah. So dice games. When I thought dice games, I had basically 2 rules in mind that I wrote down because I knew I'd forget. So I said, just because it has dice in it doesn't make it a dice game.
True.
And
I left one out because of that.
Yeah, and I removed anything that was like just roll and move. That's all you use the dice for. Or roll and rights. I feel like that's a separate thing. And dice worker placement. I also separated that. Don't know how you guys
have left.
Dice games.
Just
wait. Why dice worker placement? The dice become
those are dice games.
Thing, no?
Sure. I mean, I totally understand if you want to use that category and stuff. But if I started doing dice worker placement, it really felt like I was just, my list for dice games is a lot shorter than y'all's, I bet. And whenever I started allowing dice worker placement, I was just like, oh, I just like worker placement more than dice games. So it was almost all that. So I was like, okay, I'm going to remove that because I'm putting them in there because I like them because they're worker placement, not because of the dice. So that's why.
Okay, so I will talk about one that's not on my list at some point when we're done. That is kind of like a dice worker placement, but if you didn't have that mechanism, it would not be the same game at all. So it's pretty important. Yeah. But anyway,
that was just my 2 rules, and really it was just a good way for me to get my top 5 down to like the essence of dice game feel. So watch me do something that doesn't even have dice in it.
Would you count Can't Stop as a dice game?
100%.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I know you would because we would. Would Chris?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
I mean, I guess technically it's almost like well, it's not really a roll and move, but you do move up. You're moving into position. You're not moving.
You're not moving the amount of pips.
Yeah,
you're moving based on.
No, I'd count that as a dice game. Sure.
Okay.
I mean, that's not dice worker. That doesn't go under any of the stuff. It's not dice worker placement or roll and write or roll and move. So
cool.
Yeah. See, that's a good example of a dice game under my rules.
So who goes first?
Oh, look at that. I should never have said anything. Catching me on my yawls. It's not my fault. I hung around my family recently. So.
Oh, look at that. I just got promoted.
I don't like being on top anymore. Sorry.
Mike likes to be all by himself.
All right.
All right. So who wants
Chris,
to go first?
Start.
I should start?
Yeah.
All right. So we'll talk about our number 5s, right? All right. What is my number 5?
Are you
going to have me start? Okay. Here we go. So my number 5 is, first I got to share my screen because we're all, wow, they changed. Okay. They threw me off because they changed the name down here. I don't know if you noticed that or not. Now it says present. Rise of Tribes. So Rise of Tribes is a game that unfortunately a lot of people don't play. I will put the caveats in there. I've worked for the game company. I now currently work for the designer, all that, but it's still a great dice game. Let me see if I can get past all the fun art that's in here. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
So basically, you got 4 actions, and the dice are determine how good those actions are. And it's kind of a reoccurring theme in a lot of these dice games, is that instead of dice being, just, okay, I choose and then I roll, it's more like they're rolled and then you make the choices and stuff like that. So, like, for instance, if you were to do the Gather one here, the first 2 dice, the moon and the sun and all that, you got 2 suns. And so if you have 2 suns, you get the best version of Gather. You can see it here in the move. So if you have 2 suns in the move, you get to move 6 meeples. If you had 2 moons, you could only move 2. And if you had anything else, you move 4. This is a game that a lot of people don't really play that much or talk about that much, at least. I play it often. Not in the last 2 months. I haven't played anything, but and it has a good expansion for it too. So, have either one of you played?
I have a few years ago, like a while ago, actually, and I enjoyed it. I didn't think I would because it's sort of like area control, and it's not my kind of game. But that was fun.
Yeah, I'm actually not an area control fan either, unless it's the kind, like if it's like I have to take this spot and then people fight you over it and you have to push back and forth and stuff. I don't like that tug of war feeling, but this kind is like, I go here, I do my thing, and then you come in and do your thing. It doesn't matter. I already did my thing,
right.
That kind of thing. I don't mind. So, but yeah. That's with the expansion right there as well. That fits in the box. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, you're basically trying to get these goals, like have the majority in 3 C spots or something like that, and then that's why it's kind of area controlled. But the minute you get that, you just go, "Here's my 3 points," and then you don't care if someone takes it from you after that kind of thing. So it's not as contentious as people thought it was, but exploration stuff like that, it's fun. I don't know what that is. I don't have that.
The components are also really cool.
Yeah, there you go. That's the basic look of the game and stuff. So yeah, that's my number 5. Katia?
All right, I will go with. All right, I'm gonna go with Railroad Inc. as my number 5. It is a roll and write, but it's still to this day probably one of my favorite roll and writes.
Blue or red?
Pardon?
Or
blue
green,
or red?
Orange,
Blue.
or all the
I
colors.
have the blue.
Blue. Okay.
Yeah. And the reason why I think I like it so much is because from one play to the other, you can't always use the same strategy because you don't know what the dice are going to do this time. So like you could, for example, if you're always aiming at getting as many exits connected as possible and that's your strategy, like it might not even happen in the one game because what you need doesn't come, like it just doesn't show up. So it's a game where you're always having to sort of like roll with the punches. But yeah, I don't know. It's one I don't get tired of playing, and you can play it. I think it plays up to 8 people, and it's quick and it's simple. I like it.
Does it feel different with 8 people? I don't think I've ever played it with more than 2 or 3.
You're really just playing your own game. There's no player interaction, so it doesn't matter how many people play. Yeah.
Well, then why is it only? Oh, because there's only 8 things to.
Yeah.
So you could potentially buy 2 of them and have 6.
It might be 6. I say 8, but it might be 6. Yeah. I can't remember. I know there's a fair pile of those boards.
Seems like a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good one.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I have the blue one too. I think I have the red one too. I'm not sure. All right, Mike.
I'm looking up.
Number 5. You just coming up with them as we go?
I'm looking up Railroad Inc. to see how many plays.
Oh, it's right here. Plays 1 to 6.
Oh, it is 6. Okay.
All right, I'm going to get it out of the way and just lead off with Sagrada.
Wow.
Knock it out. Why is it in there twice? That's weird.
When the new expansion just came out, Glory, which I got to play over the weekend at Retro Game Con. Jason set up a tournament Saturday at 12. And the way Ben set up the tournament is you play 3 different games. Everybody's playing the same window. And the first window is from the Passion expansion, or you play with the Passion expansion. The second window you play with Life, and the third one you play with Glory. And it's got a structure, so there's a certain amount of tools you put out and a certain amount of public objectives you put out. But I figured it would be mentioned, so I throw it out there first. But this is definitely my favorite. And not that I'm starting with number 1 and working down to 5, but this is my favorite dice game. Yeah, it's a different Sagrada. That's why there's 2. It's my favorite dice game by far.
Hard to argue that it's not a dice game when this is one of the picks.
Right.
Out there too.
Yeah, it's just so my habit, every time I see a picture like that, I look for any rule breaking. Right, I try and find where the numbers are together or the colors are together. It's a curse for being so involved, but it is. It's constant.
Pretty low level curse.
But it's great. I've played it so much. It never gets old. It's always fun. I think the 5-6 expansion, not only does it raise the puzzle with the private objective wheel, but it makes it it just makes it that much better. You have 20 dice you're trying to grab, and with the wheel, you have 10 of them already in the beginning of the game, so you have to fit them into your window, and it's brilliant. The replay is amazing. I mean, not only playing the same window over and over again, but yeah, role player is good. I don't think it's that similar though. It's
not at all.
No, like it's like saying photosynthesis and Bosk are similar. I mean, they're only similar in that they have cardboard trees. The games are different.
Right.
With role player, yes, it's dice drafting, but you're drafting your turn order and you're getting your tools and you're trying to set up, the dice to equal a certain thing so you can trigger your attributes for your character. It's only similar as in drafting dice, right? That's really it. Also a great game, but not similar to Sagrada at all.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, Sagrada will always have a place with me. But for sure, it's my number one dice game. Close. There's a close second, but it's fantastic.
All right, so now we're on our number 4.
They do have restrictions. I get it. Like there's definitely some other similarities besides just you're drafting dice, but it's a totally different game. Like if you have one, that doesn't mean you shouldn't have the other. They're just
and it has a completely different feel too. I mean, the cards and stuff that go with it. It's just
That's a good point. Kind of like when Arnak and Doom came out, they were like, "Oh, it's the same game."
Right.
It is to a certain degree, but that's like saying any game with dice is a dice game. They're all similar, but so Sagrada out of the gate.
Nice. All right, so now we're on to number 4, right?
Well, I mean, things might change now because otherwise we might steal each other. So my order might change now.
So you had Sagrada on your list?
I did. I had Sagrada on there.
Well, here's my number 4. Sagrada.
What?
We all had Sagrada on the list.
This might be the first time ever in
that
any
we all
list
have the same. Yeah.
we've had a 3-person crossover. And I even thought I'm definitely going to hit one of them, but I was like, I'm not going to change my list based off of that and stuff. This is my list. Sagrada is just like, it's just one of those games where you just like, I kind of feel like playing a game, before sitting down and just calling it a day or something. Like, just kind of want to get a game in or something like that. And you just grab it and you get into it and you feel like you've played a full game, but it really only took like 20 minutes, 30 minutes if you 2-player, I mean, just if not even that. So yeah, we love the game. It's great.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Everything Mike said. It's not like role player.
Do you play it with any of the other stuff, or you just play base?
I only have the base. I would try the other stuff. I haven't I don't know. I haven't gotten to the point where I'm like, I'm tired of this game, so time to grab a new thing to it. And I've done that before. I've done the thing where I'm like, oh, I love this game. Let me grab the expansion, and then the expansion's too much. I'm like, oh, no, it's not what I like it. So I'm just gonna ride it until I don't like playing the game anymore, or not like it, but kind of tired of it, and then I'll grab an expansion or two if they're even available at that point.
Each of the small box expansions have 3 modules, and you can kind of pick what you want to play. So that expands it so much. But I would suggest, in order, I would grab the 5-6 expansion. It's misnamed. It's not just for 5-6 players. It adds enough for 5-6 players. It gives you the orange board. So now you can play with an orange board, right?
Hold on. I'm ordering it.
Like I said, it adds this private wheel, and in the beginning of the game, you take 2 of each color and roll them, and they're yours. And when you draft, instead of snake drafting, you draft 1 from the middle and 1 from yours. So you already have half of your window in the beginning of the game that you now have to try and fit into your window. And that elevation of puzzle is just fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then I would go life and glory and passion in that order.
What is the best expansion they're asking? I think you just answered.
But
I would say immediately get the 5-6. Forget the fact that it says 5-6. It also adds So instead of you being a private color, right? Like, you know, in the beginning of the game, you shuffle out your cards and you're either like really good at yellow or really good at blue. The 5.6 expansion adds patterns. So instead of somebody finding out like you're the yellow player and I'm going to hate draft that 6 out of you so you don't get 6 points, your private objective is a pattern, and you add up all the pips that are in those shaded areas. So no one can really hate draft a 6 red out of you once they know that you're the red player or predict that you're the red player. So it eliminates that. It adds some more windows, but that private wheel is just bonkers good.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And then Life adds the orange die with the apprentice or the Masterworks board and the apprentice tools. And I think Life, if you're looking to add to it, I would say add the Life expansion, because it adds a really good amount of stuff without really, I don't know, it feels like it's good. Passion's okay with the rare glass, and Glory seems to be all right from what I experienced over the weekend. But I would go 5.6 for those reasons I said, and then do Life, and then you can toss up Glory or Passion, either one.
Have you played the Legacy one? Is that still on Kickstarter right now?
The Artisans. Yeah, Ben and I rock through 9 of the 10 windows during play testing and development and trying to figure out how it's all going to work. So I know I left when it was still being done, so I know some stuff. I don't know what's changed since I backed it on Kickstarter. I didn't really look into it because I know it's going to be just amazing. So
yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
The patterns to color.
What's your new number 4, Katia?
I'm gonna go with Castles of Burgundy.
I knew you'd have that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
For people who aren't familiar with the game, the dice element to it is that you roll your pair of dice, and those are the pips that you use for your actions. So you decide whether you're placing tiles in those, like on your board. Every hex has a pip value on there, so you're having to do that, or you're doing other stuff in the game. But basically, you're always using those 2 dice as your action. So, I mean, it's not primarily a dice game, but if you didn't have that, it would completely change the game, obviously. And I think it's a game that everybody should have in their collection. So.
Oh, I'd say it's a dice game. I wouldn't argue against that. Do you find people argue that it's not?
No, it's not the primary mechanism, I guess. It's like, to me, it's more about getting the tiles you need, placing your tiles, than the actual dice portion of it. It's more about filling your board as best you can. But yeah, it's because it has that. It's it's got dice in it, and they're being used enough that I threw it in there for sure. I'm like, everybody needs this game. So, I mean, not everybody needs the blinged out version that was on GameFound, but some of us decided to splurge.
There you go. Yeah, that was a bit much.
It was. And it's the only game I've ever done that with that I'm like, you know what? This one, I'm going all out. Yeah.
This one we tried years ago whenever it came out, and it just kind of fell flat for us. But we only played it once, and we've been talking about playing it again. Give it another go. I mean, people love it so much that you got to be like, let's try it one more time. Some games earn that reputation, and you're like, got to give it another go. Maybe we just had an off night or something like that,
Yeah.
Or would you say it's better with more than 2 players?
3 is probably, I find, the sweet spot, just because at 4 it can start to stall a little. Like, it takes a bit long. At 3, it makes the first player mechanism a little bit more interesting than when it's just 2 of you. But aside from that, like, they did a really good job adjusting how many tiles you place on the main board that is available for people to grab. They've really scaled that well for 2, 3, and 4 players. So, I mean, it's really good at 2 as well. So.
All right. Yeah, we definitely have it on the need to try it again shelf, which is a very, very short shelf. Because normally we played so many games that were like, we know what we like and stuff, but
Yeah.
Where is that shelf exactly? I don't see it.
It's in here.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, doesn't exist yet, but it will. Actually, the shelves are going to be built behind me. More of my furniture building and stuff are going to have my Star Wars toys instead of games. So.
Oh, nice,
cool.
But games will be in the game room. So. All right, nice. You're number 4, Mike.
Escape Curse of the Temple. I brought it up on the show before, with all the expansion stuff that they have for it and all the Queenies, and as much as I hate Queen for what they do, this game is a 10-minute get out alive kind of game where you're rolling your dice as fast as you can and using your dice to get as the action to get through the temple. Twice during the 10 minutes, you have to get back to that center room or else you lose a die for the rest of the game, which is awful. And then you have to find the exit and get out with a certain amount of keys based on the number of gems that are left. It's super challenging, but they have these illusions tiles that go away when the first gong goes, and then all these extra stuff with it. So it's a 10-minute real-time game, and one day I played it for 8 hours straight. And I just kept adding shit to the pile, pushing it to, like, if it's 12 tiles with the rooms, I pushed it to 15. I pushed it to 18. I put the illusions in. I put the special tiles in. It was so much fun. And for 8 hours, yeah, it was intense. And it never got old. It was, if we had failed, it was like, all right, do it again. Like, shuffle through, reset the deck, and reset the tiles, and then play it again. And it wasn't until the level was completed that there was a success that something was added. So, like, if the illusion tiles really fucked us, then play it again. And once that was done, then okay, I added something else to it and added the hard tiles, and it was so much fun. I talk about Arkham and my experience with Arkham and my experience with Mansions of Madness as like some of the most epic memories I have in board games, especially early as I started into the board game hobby, or the modern board game hobby. That day, I think it wasn't a Columbus Day. I think it was a Martin Luther King Day. It was just a day of just rolling dice for 8 hours. It was unbelievable. I love it.
So next to Castles of Burgundy on that shelf would be this game. we had a issue where we didn't hear the gongs.
Oh, geez, yeah.
So we were doing it because apparently you can do it where it's just got like this creepy little, like barely anything, and then you hear a gong, right? But we found a version where there was music and gongs, and we didn't hear the gongs to the music. So we're going along and stuff, and then we hear a gong, and we're like, "Oh, is that the first gong? It seems like it's been a long time." And it was over, and we were like, "What?"
Yeah.
We're like, "What's going on?" So we screwed it up. So it's on the shelf to play again because we know we screwed it up.
There is, there's a YouTube video. It's just a 10-minute counter where it's the only one that I use, and you definitely hear it, like the music in the background, like it's creepy and whatever, but you hear the gongs. And then when the last gong goes off and you got to get out, the screen goes red. So even if it's not loud, you see, like, there's a visual cue too, which you're not looking at because you're always here looking at your dice trying to figure out what the hell I'm supposed to do. But yeah, that YouTube video helps a lot, right? It comes with a CD that you can blast or whatever, which is weird because CDs now. But yeah. There's a few, like if you go and look, there's a bunch of videos that people have made for this game. There's just one. I could share the link, but there's one that was the only one I used.
Yeah, I think we just picked the wrong one for us. Like we just didn't hear the gongs. Right. We were using my phone, and I think the small little speaker out of the phone, it just didn't work well.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, so that would be mine.
It was fun up until that point, though.
Sure.
I'd like to try it. I've never played it.
Super fun.
It's kind of the same thing as like the Zombie 15, right? With the kids, where it's like a real time. I mean, not with dice, obviously, but I mean, like it's a real time. Like you gotta get going, like you have that anxiety kind of part to it.
The hardest thing about it, it's not a hard game to play. Like each tile has a certain like right there in the center there, you see a key and a man, like a running man or whatever. And when you roll, you have your 5 dice and you roll, and you got to spend that combination to get into that room. And I find teaching that game for the first time, that's the hardest hurdle for people to get over, is like you're spending your dice as your action, but you can always re-roll and keep things as much as you want. Yeah, I played it once. It adds the zombies that you try and kill, and they have kind of like the curses in this. When you get a curse, it's something that's on you, and there's a certain combination you need to roll in order to lift the curse. With the zombie version, the zombies have a combination on them that you need to roll in order to kill the zombie, and they're constantly coming at you. I didn't like it as much as this, and I don't know if that's fair. I don't know if it's better or not. I just had such an experience with this that I just kept going back to this one. But yeah, the biggest hurdle for me is not for me, but teaching it is to get people to understand that they're rolling whatever their action is what they're rolling. So if they need that key and that man to get into the room, they need to roll that in order to move into the room. They can't just like set it aside or roll it with the other. It's a little bit of a challenge to figure out what you can keep when you can roll like order of operations stuff. But once you get past it, it's so much fun.
Cool. All right. Going on to number 3. So my number 3 is Istanbul, the dice game. Even says so.
Oh, I haven't played the dice one, but I love Istanbul.
Yeah. It will. So if you like Istanbul, the thing that it doesn't have, of course, is the cool movement thing. But it's surprisingly, you still get the decisions feels. You know, you roll dice and you have to decide, oh, I don't want to go for this, because you get the re-rolls and stuff if you want to spend these blue gems for it, but you have to do stuff to get blue gems, to get re-rolls and all this stuff. And you can buy let me see if they have you can buy basically powers that let you mitigate stuff and along the way. And just like on Istanbul, you know, you're basically trying to get 6 or 5 red gems first, kind of thing. It's really good. I again, this feels like that kind of game that at the end of the night or something like that, before it's all over, let's just grab this one and get one more. Feels like a solid game, but it's only 20, 30 minutes long, kind of thing. Yeah. So yeah, I think if you like Istanbul, then you're going to easily learn this, because it's kind of the same. You already kind of grasp the ideas that they're trying to throw at you. So yeah, good game. Cool. Either one. Have you tried it, Mike?
I haven't.
I think you'd like it. I think you'd both like it. Should give it a go. Yeah, those blue crystals right there. So yeah, that's my number 3.
Cool. I had heard good things about it, so I'm curious to try it. Yep. Yeah, I definitely don't see it being played that often, but
yeah.
I should.
All right. What's your number 3, Katia?
Hold on. My document closed. Okay. Oh, yes. So my number 3 is Rajas of the Ganges.
Good game.
It's a worker placement, but you use the dice as, you know, almost, I mean, I view it almost like as resources. Like you have to spend dice in whichever spot that you choose to go with your worker. You'll have to spend dice of whatever color. So yeah, you get, the cool thing about the game is that you have 2 tracks, and the winner is whoever has the tracks, like basically, I think it's favor and money or something like that, or reputation and money, and then you're going as far as you can on those tracks, and when they meet, you trigger game end. So it's the person who has met or went across the furthest that wins the game. I thought that alone was really cool. But yeah, it has a little bit of everything. Like you're doing some tile placement, you're getting bonuses, there's that river that's kind of reminiscent of like I think this came out first, but like in Maracaibo, like the river that has those bonuses and things like that. That has that. It has some options to boost certain things so that when they trigger, you'll get more points. Like it just overall has a little bit of everything and good decision making. So yeah, for me it's definitely up there in not just dice game, but in like my favorite games of all time. That's up there. So
it's a great game.
Yeah, that's another one I guessed you would have. After a while, we should try to guess each other's lists. What were you saying, Mike? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That is not so good as a roll and write game.
No, it's the roll and write is almost as tedious than the actual game. Like you're having to do so much on the sheet of paper, and to like, it just felt like I wanted to just play the actual game.
Yeah, we played it at the gathering, and it fell short. It just you wanted just to break out the regular game. There was nothing. I mean, it's a roll and write clearly, but it wasn't. I don't know. It didn't do what
it fell short because it was so long.
Sure, yeah.
Like it's weird. Like it took over an hour to play the roll and write.
Never played this one. I always wanted to, though.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Maybe next year at CuseCon.
CuseCon, yes.
CuseCon. All right. Number 3, Mike.
I'm gonna go with Noctiluca.
You're gonna need to spell that.
NOCTILUCA. It's a Z-Man game. Shem Phillips designed it. I've talked about it on the show a while ago. It's severely underrated. I think it's simple to play and teach. It's got fun elements. You populate the board with those dice. You're trying to gather the Noctiluca to make these potions or something along those lines. But when you play, you take one of your pawns and you put it on a spot, and then you pick a number, and you get all of that number in one of the straight lines from that spot. And then you're trying to collect the dice. So on the board, it's numbers, and you're trying to get the numbers in a row. And then you're using the numbers in your jars as the color that you're getting. But you can't be too greedy, because if you can't fit them in your jars, then the remainder gets passed around the table, and everyone would get something from it. So you're trying to figure out the best line to get as much as you can to fill up those jars. So like the jar on the right there with the jar on the left, they could have gotten all those 3s by one movement, by one action. They put one of those little pawns down and pick a straight line, and all of those 3s could be there. And then they got them all for their jars. And then if there were more, like if I had gotten all of those, it would pass to Katia, and then it would pass to you, Chris, and then they'd go away. But you'd get one from each of the stuff that's remainder. So you're trying to figure out the best location, and then everybody can only go to one spot once, right? So you can't double up or something. It's tight. And then you play 2 rounds, and then whoever's got the most points. There's a set collection, so you're trying to get the most red jars or brown jars, whatever the colors are. Yellow, I think, is in there. So there's a little bit of set collection. It's a lot of dice collection, and then trying to allocate them to the cards to fulfill points and stuff. It's to me, it's underrated. I think I don't know if it was promoted properly or if it came out at a certain time that other things were coming out, but I think it deserves more than it gets. I don't even know.
You're fulfilling your jar, so I guess it's not potions. You're just capturing lights in jars.
Sure, the luminescent creatures.
Cute.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
How long does it play?
You're playing it in a half an hour, maybe. It's not. I mean, you do 2 rounds, right? It'll last long if people are trying to overthink or overanalyze what the best move. That's really pretty.
AP.
What the best action is to get the most dice. So if you got that one person that's going to take forever trying to figure out their thing, it'll go longer. But you're basically just playing 2 rounds.
How many points is per jar?
Depends. They vary. Their numbers, though you don't see any numbers there, but their numbers on the upper right. I think they're like 1 or 2 points. Some of them have none. They'll just go for your set collection. They'll all have a color tag on it. Yellow, brown, orange, something like that. If you can zoom into one, I can show you.
Ooh, very zoomed.
Very zoomed. Yeah, so that's a yellow jar. See the yellow moon tag on it?
Yep.
And then it's worth 1 point, but that's a yellow moon tag and no points. But at the end of the game, you find out who has the most yellow jars, and then they get the points, the yellow points. So if you look at the top of that screen there, you'll see discs of colors. As you get a yellow jar, you'll take the top of that stack, and they're descending. So they'll start at like 8 and they'll go down to 1 or whatever. Whoever has the most yellow gets to keep the yellow side, and then everyone else that has a yellow disc, they have to flip them over, and they're only worth 1 point each. And you do that for all of the colors.
Cool.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's got a solo variant as well, which I've never tried, but it's really fun. I have it. It's like here.
Yeah, you have talked about it before.
I think it's in the. Yeah, I've talked.
I think it's the first time I paid attention to it, though.
Nice. Thanks for paying attention.
It was one we had played at the gathering. I remember that. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, I like this one a lot.
Back to you, Chris.
Oh yeah. So what are we? We're number 2.
Correct.
Number
Yeah.
2. Wow, is this my number 2? I almost wanted to make this my number 1, but now I'm gonna have to go with 2. Grand Austria Hotel.
That's a good pick.
So what's weird about it is I almost did a Pulsar 2235, whatever the year is. There's Pulsar something, I don't know, which is basically Grand Austria Hotel in space. But I actually like Grand Austria, even though I like space games and stuff. I actually like this just a little bit more. It just feels a little bit tighter. It does have, so like dice game, because at the beginning of the round, roll a bunch of dice, they go into those sections, and those are different actions. So like if I want to do this action here, the number of dice in there is the strength of that action, like how many of those I can do, right? So that's really cool because you go back and forth. In a 2-player game, it's weird because somebody does the first one, and then somebody takes the second and third action, and then someone does the fourth one. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like a weird thing as a 2-player, but it works really well. But it's really, it looks very kind of like simple whenever you look at just the dice and all, but it's really tight because, man, you have to have this before you can do this, before you can do this kind of stuff, you know? And if those dice don't come up, then you're all kind of in trouble to get certain things done. And then I've gone like a couple rounds where, like, you know, oh, the rooms won't come up, and you have to do other stuff to make the rooms happen. But the minute dice go in there, everybody just goes for them, kind of thing. It's a really great game, and you know, it's not a game that people don't talk about and stuff. It had a huge Kickstarter recently and stuff like that, so you know, a lot of people already know about it. But yeah, that's my number 2, almost number 1.
I didn't know that Pulsar was basically this game.
I mean, that's my opinion. Sure. It very much feels that way once you get it. Once you get past the theme, you're like, oh, you roll dice, assign them the actions. That's the value. It does have more to it. It has little things that adjust depending on what you pick. Like it then like adjust your which it like your player order and stuff like that. It does have I'm not saying it's exactly the same. I'm not saying role player Sagrada kind of thing here, right? But it is so close that like you can get away with saying Grand Austria Hotel in Space in my mind anyway. In my opinion. Have either one of you played the Pulsar one?
I haven't played either. I haven't played this.
I set up the Pulsar one with a friend, and it got too much, so we packed it up.
You didn't finish it?
I didn't start.
So you at least saw the beginning, though, right?
Yeah. I wouldn't have put it. I think I probably tried to play that one before I played Grand Austria, so I never made the connection.
Oh, okay. Yeah, when I started reading the rules, I was like, huh, these mechanisms, like if you take the space out, it's like very close, not in a like copied way or anything. Like it's almost like someone said, how do I do this in my own way? And then add a different theme to it kind of thing. So I would be very surprised if the designer had not played Grand Austria Hotel beforehand.
Cool.
As you know.
Good to know.
It does not come with those. Katia, what's your number 2?
So my number 2 is Wreck Raiders.
What?
Wreck Raiders, like a shipwreck.
Like WR?
Yes.
I've never even heard of this.
Basically a game where you have divers and you're going to different sites and you're collecting seashells and stuff, and it's a set collection. But that's okay. So go back one picture. That is the dice mechanism. So you're rolling the dice in the box lid. So that is the box lid, and then you roll the dice, and then wherever they land in the lid is what actions are going to be available that turn, or like what spot you can go that turn, something like that. So I thought that was really clever. And then, yeah, you got these little divers that you're going on different sites and collecting stuff, and then you can also bump people. When people get bumped, they go onto the beach, and they can collect seashells there instead of like items. And you're just basically fulfilling cards to get points. You're also able to like build an aquarium. Yeah, I know, right? Wreck Raiders is great. You can make aquariums. They have really cool fish and stuff like that. And so it's a really like it's family weight, I would say. Maybe on the heavier side of family weight, like depending on how the kids are, but it's gorgeous. The components are beautiful, and yeah, it's a fun game.
I don't know if I've ever even heard of this game. Looks fun though.
Island Games published it.
Yep. Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
At Cuscan.
You can't see me, but I'm clapping.
But yeah, you could show more pictures. I don't know what the shark is about. I don't have a shark, but
I was about to say it's got a shark in it. I want to play
with a shark, but
does it have a shark?
Try and find pictures of like so then you can kind of see that's the aquarium that you build. So the more you build, there you go with the location. So basically, it will dictate like how many starfish or how many shells are available for that round, and then you go around picking. Basically, you go around the table and be like, okay, I'll pick this die, which means I get one seashell, and then you do your actions and stuff like that. But yeah, it's really good. It's really, really good.
Does it come with the little crabs at least?
It does.
Okay. All right, I'm back on board.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, shark is an expansion where it eats the meeples.
Oh, that's fun. I did not know that. Very cool.
More, you know.
Yeah, the table presence is beautiful.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Little seahorses. Is that expansion too?
Probably because the shark is there.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember there being fish and stuff on the dice, but it might have something to do with the expansion. I don't know.
Could be a Kickstarter deluxe thing.
Maybe.
Was this a Kickstarter?
perhaps. Because I mean, like the stickers, so like the divers don't come painted like that. Those are stickers that you were able to add on afterwards. So maybe I don't know. I can't remember.
It was a Kickstarter.
Oh,
Yeah,
there
I
you
was just looking that up. Yep.
In September of last year.
Oh, so that would have been September last year. That would have been either for the expansion or a re-release.
Oh, okay.
The game is older than that.
Oh, okay. Yep. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Mike? Mike?
Kingsburg.
No, you did not.
I did.
God damn it.
We're
Still
too
another one from
similar.
you?
We're too similar.
That was
Yep.
my number one I had on here. Well, like my new number one because things got moved.
Well, now you need another one.
You suck.
I know. I know.
You know,
But
I've never
that's a
played
great
this
game.
one either.
Kingsburg's great. You roll your dice. You got you're going through the different seasons, and at winter there's going to be a battle, and you have to have enough army to defend. But you roll your dice and you pair them up into numbers. You can either split them up and do them individually, or you can put them together and get them to like add up to a bigger thing. But where you putting your dice, you're getting resources. Whether it's wood or gold or whatever is there. So like the blue player there decided to go with a 9 with the 5 and the 4 and the 3 in order to get those resources because they need it for whatever game state they're at. It's great. It's so good. And then it's got another board. You're trying to like increase different tracks and build like your towers or your wall or your keep or whatever. It's so good. I haven't played the second edition. I know somebody just recently got it on the QSCon family. I saw it, I think last Tuesday. But yeah, it's got an expansion for it. That thing, go back one or two. As you're collecting your resources, you're trying to build those things, and those banners are your victory points, and they give you a certain benefit for like the next round. So you're trying to work left to right to build up like certain things to get better benefits to do different things.
The first player, the beginner player, production phase.
Oh, because it's not in English.
That's not.
Yeah, I'm trying to read what it says. Yeah, still, I got to work on my German.
It's great.
Yeah, I actually own it. We have not cracked it open to learn it.
They have a Cthulhu themed one too. It's Kingsport Festival.
Oh,
it adds a little bit. It does something with another board or different tiles or something like that. But
I was wrong.
It's good.
I agree. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's a great game. And it's funny because when I played it, it was actually with Daryl and Adrian.
Nice.
We had it was a while ago. We had a game night, and that was one of the games that we played. And I was like, "Man, this is good." And yeah, it's older, and I remember like it just stuck with me because it was really clever.
Yeah. They did the second edition, I think, last year or the year before, and I think they roped in or baked in the expansion into it.
I think that's what I got was the second edition.
Second edition, yeah. Yeah, it's a great game.
All right, so now we're down to our number one. Katia's got to scramble.
Yep.
So I'll say mine while she's doing that. My number one is Taverns of Tiefenthal.
Taverns is great.
Yeah, it's a so if you haven't played it, you're basically running like what's it, like a bar, an inn? It's not an inn. It's just a bar, right? It's what do they call it in a tavern.
It's a tavern, maybe. Yeah. Some people
yeah,
call it
yeah. It's weird. Good thing I thought of that all by myself.
Yeah.
Anyway, trying to get to like, would they just show the game? Jeez, what is this? That doesn't come with the game. No. Somebody show the game. Okay, finally. So anyway,
pictures to be game related rather than
So dice get rolled. You all start drafting from those pools. They move around. So like you roll 5 dice or 4 dice, and everybody else rolls 4 dice. You pick one, and then it moves over, and you grab someone else's thing. And the cost of what you need to do. Like this one says, you put a 3 here, you get 3 gold. But it's all that lovely spend it this turn or it goes away kind of thing. Unless of course you upgrade stuff. There's ways to upgrade like your bank so that you can hold more from leftovers and stuff like that. You make beer, you give it to the people coming in. You're trying to get these nobles basically because these points here. It's great. I've played it with all of the modules. The only complaint I have is that they broke it up into all those modules. Because I don't know, I guess for some players they might just play the basic module and be like, yeah, it's okay, and then move on. But I liked it right off the bat. I was like, oh, let's add the next one. And the next one I was like, all right, and just added all of it, and then was like, yeah, this is how it should be played, this full thing. I'm just not a big fan of module stuff. It's just like, give me the game that you want me to play. I get that you're probably letting your audience pick the level at what kind of game they're playing, right? But I don't know.
Well, the modules also keep it fresh, right? Like we were talking about Sagrada. Once you play Sagrada enough and you're like, then you add in like the Masterworks or you add in the rare glass and it makes it feel a little different, right?
Well, that's what happens with expansions. Where they like an expansion you have to go buy.
Right,
this
right.
comes with it with the modules. So this you just next time you play, you add it. I don't know. Like I don't know that they add so much more that it feels like, I guess if you add all of them together, it feels like one big expansion or something, but it is a lot of rules. Yeah, I guess it is. It's really just like 2 more pages of rules, isn't it? Like, or maybe 3 pages. It might be 3 more pages. I don't know. I can see arguments for it either way. I always feel it's kind of like whenever people say, oh, it's a cooperative or a competitive or a blah, blah game. I always just feel like just make the one game you meant to make and give it to me. Don't give me modules and variants and all this stuff. I don't know.
The world according to Chris.
Yes. Anyway, that's the only thing I'd say that's drove me a little crazy about it. But once you get all the modules in there, it's like pretty amazing. And there's like 5 or 6 of them. But yeah.
Yeah, it's a good game.
I forgot about the modules. See, and that means that you have only played half the game. And well, maybe not half. You've played like 2/3 of the game, right? But that might just be all you care about or like, enjoy. I think if they had sold it without the modules, I would have liked it just as much. And then they could have come out with the modules as an expansion, and that would have been fine.
Interesting.
Anyway, there's my number 1 with complaints. I guess that should have been my number 2 if I had complaints.
Yeah, seriously. This would be your top, not your top complain ones.
Yeah. Got me going. All right. So what's your brand new number 1?
I found a replacement. So, okay.
Hey.
So to be fair, I have a list of probably like 6 or 7 other dice game, and my ultimate favorite is in that list of 6. But I'm gonna put something else as my number 1 or like as part of my top 5, just because I've talked about the other game so much. I will mention it afterwards. But one that deserves, I think, attention is Troy's.
Yeah.
Troy
It is also like a little bit older game.
That one?
Yes. There's a fair bit going on there from what I recall. But I remember really, really liking it. And it has like a kind of like a rondelle. Not necessarily. I mean, I guess it's kind of like a rondelle in the middle with the dice. But what I recall that was really cool about this game was that there are like scoring objectives that are like you will contribute a scoring objective to the pile that will score to like at the end. So you know one thing that will score. If I remember this correctly, again, it's been a while. But then you don't know what else will score. So you're gonna play your game not knowing what like all of the things that score, but you know of one of them. Something like that. So it has like a bit of a like sort of secret element to it. But yeah,
with that tablecloth.
Pardon?
Does it come with that tablecloth? That's awesome.
No, and it doesn't look like that either. That is not. Yeah, my gosh, that's gotta be like prototype stuff. But the game is pretty big. Like it takes a fair bit of space on the table, but it's really good. Like I'm not describing it well because it's been a while since I played it, and there's a fair bit to it. But it is a dice game, and you're placing meeple places, and you end up filling spots, and then other people can't go there, so they have to like come up with something else to do. So it's tight. It's a very tight game. Right? Yes, it is fantastic. I would need. Yeah, I know, Shannon. That's also on my list. Genotype. It's on the like 6 or 7 additional suggestion I have.
I don't think you saw that comment.
Pardon?
Did you see that comment?
Which one?
The one that's up.
Fantastic Factories?
Yeah.
I've never played it.
Huh.
I've never played Fantastic Factories.
I bet you'd
going
that.
out for it. Okay.
But yeah. Yeah, so that is one that everyone should try at least once. At least. Because I want to play it again. I'm going to need a serious reteach.
Mike?
It's pretty meaty.
You're number 1.
Does anyone want to make a prediction?
Let's see. We got Corey saying this or that.
That's not a prediction. That's just his.
My prediction is Dice Miner.
Chris?
Prediction. And I don't know. You play a lot of games I haven't even heard of sometimes. Yeah, Dice Miner is a good one because we're about to play that, aren't we? I bet you he went with something weird. I don't know. Yahtzee. Yeah. Like Scott said, Yahtzee. No, what's your Dice Masters? What you got?
Dice Miner.
Well, there you go. Got me all squirming whenever she already guessed it.
The first time we played it was at the Gathering, and we played it so fucking much, and it's still good. It's not my number 1. I just ended with it because we're going in to play it, so I don't necessarily have to talk too much about it. But you're drafting dice. There's 60 dice. You're drafting 20 per round, divided up by everybody. The dice have different abilities. Some are set collection, and you're trying to get the rocks to go from 1 to 5 to score your points. Some are dangers that are doing negative points unless you have a way to mitigate that with the shield or the axe. There's rerolls and magic. There's gems and set collection of the gem. If you have most, you get double the points. And then you have your character's asymmetric abilities. But the fun part of it, and you just saw it there, is that beer. And the choice to not only use it, who you're giving it to, because it could benefit that person, but when to use it, because it lets you pull 2 from the mountain rather than 1. And they're always useful until they're useless. So yeah, Dice Miner is my number 1. I figured it was a good segue into... not my number 1. It's the last one I'm mentioning.
Yes.
Because Sagrada is my number 1, but I figured...
Nice.
Oh, yeah, Donnie. That's a good pick. Donnie played Liar's Dice for the first time at QSCon in the Liar's Dice tournament.
I've never played that still.
Super fun.
I haven't either.
Corey suggested Tumble Town. I have a copy and I still haven't played it.
Same.
But it did look really cool.
Dice Throne.
Yeah, Dice Throne is good.
Dice Throne's battle.
Yeah. Before we transition into going into playing the game. Oh yeah, Too Many Bones. Duh. Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, I was gonna say comments. Throw in all the ones that we forgot.
Yeah. So here's some that I talk about all the time. I've talked about in the past, or that I just think people should check out. Okay, so I have a few. Obviously, Genotype. I've talked about that one a lot. Trismegistus, which is a beast of a game, but it is dice based and it's fantastic. But it's a beast. Dark Moon, which we've talked about, semi co-op or trader mechanism, all of that fun stuff. Tiny Big Galaxies, it's dice chucking, but the fact that you can re-roll some and follow
that was my number
the whole
6
mechanism. I just love that one. Artemis Project is the one that I said has that sort of like worker, like it's a dice placement, but the way that it's done is really clever because there are places on the board that you're going to want high numbers, and there are places where you're going to want lower numbers, because when you're placing the dice, you have to place them in order of number. So I could be the second player to go and place a die here, but if it's lower than the one that's already there, I'm going to move in front of it and push it. And so if you've placed too high of dice there, by the time it gets to you, there might not be any resources there to actually get the amount that you placed. So it's a balance in like where you're placing your dice. And I find that game really, really good. And yeah, that's definitely one I would recommend people look into, in addition to all the other ones. So yeah.
Is Merchants of the Dark Road a dice game? I'm trying to remember. I only played it twice, and now I remember the board and how it looks, but I don't remember the gameplay very well. I know that you go around like a little rondel thing and you go out to some towns and stuff.
I haven't
remember dice in it. Yeah.
The other thing too, so earlier we were talking about how some games that have dice are not necessarily dice games. And so two that I didn't put in my top 5, but I love both games for like very different reasons. They both have dice, but it's not the main, or it's not like a huge part of it. One is Orchard. It's a solo game, but it's more about the overlapping of the cards. The dice are really just there to keep your score on how many fruits you're up to. That's the one. And the other game I was thinking of was Dwellings. Dwellings of Eldervale.
Oh.
It's really just for the battle, but damn, that is a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of went along with the roll and move thing for me. Like if it was just used for one little part, like a fighting game or something, I kind of left it out as well.
Yeah, because otherwise that would have been a recommendation for sure. But it's only because it's only for the battles. I was like, it's not the main thing.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about what is the dice game versus a game with dice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are those rules and stuff? Or it just like everything else, it comes down to just whatever you think it is. But yeah. Good. Our first 3-person crossover.
Yeah, right.
That's fun. I could have guessed that one, but
probably.
Yeah.
I knew I'd be hitting somebody, but not both. All right. So are we going to play Dice Miner? Speaking of,
let's
do it.
All right. You got to hit the go thing, and then I'll share our screen here.
I need you guys to join in.
Oh, happy Thanksgiving, Matt.
I'm already joining.
For those who are not familiar with our Thanksgiving, it was today, basically.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Ready.
Night. Yeah, I have say ready on mine. We're ready to play.
Yeah. Says you're not ready.
Well, it's lying. You can see my screen down below.
My screen is
I'm online and ready.
Mine says that I'm ready. It says Chris is not ready.
Yeah, see? 2-1. We win.
And it gives me the option to leave because
I'll refresh. Oh, now I say I'm not ready. Weird. There we go.
So it was you.
All right. So let me put us up. Should we be down here?
I think so. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, we could be here, but we'd also be down here.
I think that works.
The problem with down here is when people say Happy Thanksgiving. Oh, look, it bumps us up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think we're going to stick here. And Happy Thanksgiving to all Canadians. All right. Are you going to go over the rules or are we just going to jump into play?
We're just going to jump in and watch you struggle.
No, I'll go over it with you. So we need to figure out who we're going to be character-wise, but the overall gameplay is in turn order. We're going to select a die from the mountain. The mountain has to be, or the die you select has to be open on a peak. So initially right there, you're going to grab the green pickaxe with the shovel or that white 5. As the mountain starts getting picked over, there'll be more options to pick from. If you remember just a couple minutes ago, I mentioned beer. If you give a beer to somebody, which I can go over, it'll let you draft 2 from the mountain. And those 2 that you draft just have to have an open side. They do not have to have, you don't have to just pick from the peak. You can pick from the edges, and you pick one at a time. And as you pick, the dice could cascade down, opening up another one that you might want to get.
I see. So if this was a beer, I would give it to you. I would pick it up and give it to you.
Nope, you'd have to do it before your draft on your turn. So if that was a beer and you drafted it, you'd have to wait till your next turn in order to give it to somebody.
Oh, okay. So I'd take the beer, and the next time I come around, I'd give it to you, and I can pick from here. Or I can pick from here. Okay.
Correct. So let's say it was here.
Because beer and mountain climbing.
Let's say that was the beer that you gave. You'd be able to take this. Let's say you wanted this treasure chest.
Yep.
And then what would happen? Why doesn't it slide? That's weird. You'd be able it would open this up, right? This would slide down and it would open this up. So you'd be able to take that as your second one because it has an open edge.
Nice.
Why did it slide? I thought
that's okay. We'll do it manually.
Well, when we played it last time, didn't it slide?
I don't remember.
It did, but maybe there was a glitch and they took it out. I don't know.
Interesting. Okay. So there's a few different types of dice.
Maybe try tilting the mountain a little bit more?
Yeah,
I'm just messing with you.
Well, it's not. It's actually not up. It's flat right now.
Oh, that's why. So we don't have the legs on. That's why it's not cascading anywhere.
Yeah, but why? What the hell? All right, whatever.
Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out.
So there's a few different types of dice. I mentioned the white or the stone. They'll score you points if they're in a run starting with 1. And every die, just so you know, every die has a beer facing. Every die has at least one. It has one beer side on it. So the white dice go from 1 to 5, and you'll score points as long as your run starts with a 1. So basically, if you can get a run of 1 to 5, it's 15 points. You can start as many runs as you want. You could have 4 ones, and that's it. That's 4 points. So as long as you have a run starting with 1, you'll add up the pips of those in the run, and that's how many points you'll get for your white. Your gems, I mentioned, the yellow ones, they have 1, 2, and 3 gems on facing, again with the beer. You get a point for every gem that's there. And then if you have a clear majority of gems, your points will double. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Your green die have treasure chests, which I'll explain at the end of the round, as well as pickaxes and shovels and shields. The pickaxes and shovels and shields will protect you from this nasty-looking Targaryen thing here. There are 2 types of bad things in the game. One are rock slides, one are dragons. Those dragons right there, if you do not have the shield, that would be -4 points because there's 4 dragons on it. On the die, there'll be a 4 dragon, a 2 dragon, and then a 1, 2, 3 rock slide, and then a beer as well. If you have the shield, it turns them into points. So that would instead be worth 4 points. The shields compound on themselves. So if you have 2 shields, it would be 2 shields times the number of dragons you have.
Do you if you pick the dragons, you get the -4, or do you give it to somebody for -4?
No, everything you pick from the mountain becomes
Okay.
yours. The only thing you get to give to somebody else are your beer.
Evan.
Right. And the same thing goes for the rock slides. If you have the die and it's got the rock slides on it, the number of rocks are the number of negative points. If you have a pickaxe and a shovel, it turns them into points instead.
What's a rock slide?
It's not showing, but it's basically on the black die. It's just different icons.
Like those.
Not like that.
Correct. Yep.
Gotcha.
That would be -3 points unless you had the pickaxe shovel. Then it would be +3 points.
All right. Cool.
So you have your gems, you have your stones, you have your bad stuff, you have your green, and I'll explain the treasure chests in a second. And then you have those blue dice. The blue dice, you'll see those little swirly, the little circles that are connected. Before at the end of the round, when we're done drafting from the mountain, we'll have the opportunity to re-roll. Your danger dice, your black dice with the orange dragon, yep, those cannot be re-rolled with magic. Okay. But your blue dice are your magic that lets you re-roll your choice of whatever you want. If there are 2, you must re-roll 2 dice. If there are 3, you must re-roll 3 dice. You cannot choose to only re-roll 1.
Can you choose not to activate them?
You can choose not to activate them. Absolutely. And there is a facing with just a 1, so you can just re-roll 1 thing. And you can do them in any order. You can spend your 2 and re-roll 2 dice, and then spend your 3 to re-roll those 2 dice again, plus another 1, however you want to do it. But if there's 2 facing, you must do 2, and if there's 3 facing, you must do 3. That makes sense?
Yep.
At the end of the round, when we're done scoring all of our points, if you have any treasure chests, you'll be able to hold those that many dice, so those 3 treasure chests, you'll be able to hold 3 dice for next round, because everything that we collect in round 1 and then everything we've collected through round 2 will get re-rolled for the next round. Okay?
Including the black dice.
Including the black dice. So if you want to, if you have the character that has a shield on their character board, you have an automatic shield. It's the second one from the left. You start with a shield. So if you can grab those dragons in this game and you're the dragon slayer, then that's 4 points for you. If you have a treasure chest, you might want to keep those dragons because they're worth 4 points for you again in round 2 and then again in round 3. But at the end of the round, when we're done scoring, we'll take all of the dice that we've collected and we will re-roll them. Unless you're saving them with the treasure chest. The treasure chest does get re-rolled.
Cool.
And then we'll do that 3 times and whoever has the most points wins.
All right. Nice.
Kind of makes sense? I'm going to get this bug. At some point during the show, I'm going to get this bug that's flying around.
I've been watching you try to get it. It's
must be great entertainment. All right, is that mostly me? I don't know what these dice are.
This is to roll to see who goes first.
And I don't know why there are 41 dice in the bag. There should only be 60 dice.
Oh. You want to roll dice to see who goes first?
Why don't we do... Yeah, let's do that. Beer starts it. And then whoever goes first, the last player will get to pick their character first. How's that?
Cool.
Okay. I got this die.
Okay, I think R rolls, right? Yep. So I get a 5.
2. Great.
I got a 1.
Great.
Looks like I go first.
I'm down here on the bottom left.
So if I go first, what, Mike's next?
Yeah, we do that then.
Put you in order there.
I don't know why.
You just pulling random dice up?
Yeah, I'm going to get another white one out.
Okay. All right. So that means Katia picks her person first, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
What you want?
I will.
Tell me what you want. What you really, really want.
Wow.
Spice Girls, really?
I will. I think, I'm going to try the Treasurer this time. I don't think I've ever played with them.
Spice Girls, the game.
Please don't.
I wish I knew more of their music to add more to it. But I think that's pretty much all I know.
I'm gonna pick the Surveyor.
All right. Let's see. This is all basically against the black dice with a little big bonus thing. So I'm gonna
this
take
character here, Chris.
Give me.
Those are 3 individual rerolls. That's not 3 together. So you can choose to roll 1 die 3 times or whatever, but they're 3 individual rerolls.
That's who I'm grabbing.
There you go. And then you get first pick.
I guess I'm supposed to be at this angle. That's weird. I'm not doing that.
You
right.
do.
I'm doing me. All right, so I'm picking first up here. So okay, I either get the 5 or the pickaxe, and the pickaxe is only good against rock slides, which there aren't any, right?
Correct.
Currently, right now,
but
yes.
You're going to be able to re-roll it, and it could give you treasure chest or a shield or beer.
Yeah, I'll take the 5. Okay. So then it goes to Mike.
Yep, I got the beer.
So right now she can get the pickaxe or the 3 treasure chests.
Correct.
Hmm.
Three treasure chests. So it comes to me, and I'll take a beer.
No one wants that pickaxe, huh?
I don't see any rocks.
All right, well, I'm taking the 5.
Oh man, this round is rough.
Guess you're getting a pickaxe. So at this point, I can give a beer to somebody and take 2 things.
Correct, yeah. And those 2 things just have to have an open edge, and we'll cascade them down as you pick. But you'll roll it, like you give it to somebody and it gets rolled. It's not just a beer that we get. You actually roll it to the person.
How do I roll it or they roll it?
Either. Doesn't matter.
They can roll it. Let's see. Mike, you told how to play it, so I'm going to give you the beer.
Thank you. Okay.
Ah, man. Okay, so then I'm going to... Okay, tell me how gems score again.
So they're worth 1 point per gem. Unless you have the clear majority, then you get your points doubled.
Gotcha.
Okay. And you'll have that for the entire game, so you'll be re-rolling that into potentially 3 gems, right? Because there's 2 1s, a 2, and a 3. Nope.
All right.
2 1s, 2 2s, and a 3. And
so
then
I'm going to take this one. This moves down, so I can take this one.
Correct. And then that moves
down.
This
goes down here.
Yep, very good.
Cool.
I'm going to do the 2.
Katia?
I'm not going to be able to score anything.
If the round ended right now, you'd have a point, I'd have a point, Chris would have 2.
No, you've got a gem on your card.
Nope, right? That's a reroll.
Oh, you're right.
I know.
Well, it happens so rarely.
I know.
Okay, so, well, I guess I'll take the other gem. It's easy.
Fine, you're going to make me do it.
Gave you a beer.
Your beer.
Yay.
Beer again.
I'm picking the 2, which cascades that, and I'm picking the 3, which cascades this.
All right. Well, I will give the beer to someone else. And ugh. Do you have a whole freaking what?
Yep.
All right, yeah. Chris, here's a beer.
Thank you.
And I will grab I'll actually try and grab the dragons. And
Interesting.
I may as well grab the shield now, and then I don't have to worry about the pickaxe.
Yep. That's 4 points.
Yeah. So that falls here.
Okay, so what happens? Well, I guess if I get the beer, blah blah blah, I'll get the last two basically. Do I even want the last two? No, I'll just take this. So now that beer is kind of devalued, right? Because it's just going to give you the one. Or you can re-roll it, I guess, right?
I can. I'm not going to use my 2, but I'll use my 1. And if I get a 1, then I get a 1. If not, I'll re-roll it for next round.
Right. I guess I'm getting this.
Oh, shit. I just realized something.
Well,
I would put the 3 back and take a 2.
Go ahead.
Yeah? Okay. Because I didn't want to roll my shield. That was dumb.
So, Chris, you'd have the option of picking the 3 or the 2. You still want the 2?
I'll take the. I got so many rerolls already. I don't care. I'm gonna let you have the 3.
In order to use this, you have to re-roll 3. You can't choose to roll less, so it's not as it's good.
No, I'm gonna let you have it.
Okay. All right. So end of the round. First thing we do is use our magic. So any re-rolls you want to do, spend them in order to re-roll your stuff.
All right. Is there any reason why I would want a beer now?
No.
So I don't care what this re-rolls to at this point.
Well, if you can get it to be a 1, then it's 1 point.
Fair enough. Okay, I'm going to spin this to...
Also, don't forget you have your 3 individuals on your character sheet.
Right.
Ugh.
All that. Ha! I got 2 beers. All right, so I'm going to spin this to do that again. Wow. Okay, that was useless. All right, here's 1 of mine. 2 of mine. Come on. 3 of mine.
Wow. That's great.
Oh, my rerolls were also pure crap.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to re-roll this one. Great. We all got the same thing that it started out with. Or Chris and I did. I didn't see what you
Good thing I got these awesome powers of re-rolling. All right.
So then we will go over to this fancy little thing here, and I'm the blue player. So we do our rocks first, or stone first, and I have a 1 on my character sheet, and I have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 15 points.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do this with this thing. Oh, there we go. Okay. Red player, Katia, what do you got for nothing?
Nothing.
Chris, nothing.
I got nothing.
And then your gems, Katia has 1 and Chris has 3.
Times
so red gets 1.
So Chris actually gets 6.
Yep.
Right. And then Chris gets 6 because you have 3, but you have a clear majority, which is doubled. And then our hazard dice, which are the black ones, you get 4 points because you have the shield to match the dragons.
Mm-hmm.
Why this thing doesn't automatically add up the total is weird for me.
You gotta learn the math yourself, man.
No. Like if you're gonna code it this way, then why not just have this thing do the thing, right?
How are you changing it?
I'm just sliding on the trackpad.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, so you both have treasure chests. You can choose to keep 3 dice from this round to the next.
Those 3? Can I choose the treasure chest as one of the dice?
No, you cannot choose itself.
Okay.
I can keep up to 5 actually, but I'm only going to keep 3.
Right.
Hmm.
Okay. And then everything that you're not keeping will get re-rolled for next round.
How do you select everything?
Shift and drag.
All right. How do we apply it to the mountain here?
It's going to be just drafting from here, I think.
Oh, wait. Oh, we're keeping these?
Yeah, they're yours for the game.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm glad I got another
crap.
shield.
If I'd known that, I would have re-rolled these. I thought these were going back into the mountain.
Nope. I said everything that we draft, we keep from round to round.
I'm sure those are the words you used, yes.
This is part of the listening to Mike phase.
What?
You got to go back to the rule book and read how to listen to Mike.
I always skip that page.
I know. All right, so we have our dice for the next round. You can immediately use your beer if you have beer. And then the first player of this round is the person with the lowest points, which is Katia.
Yay.
And then we go in order from there.
You have 2 beers. Are you able to get rid of those all in one turn?
No, it's 1 die. I give 1 beer and I can select 2.
Gotcha. There's a lot of rocks in there.
I just took a beer.
Okay. It's my turn, right?
Yeah. I forgot. It's going that way, not this way.
I'm going to give a beer. That's way too many beers for Mike, so I'll give a beer to...
I'm giving a beer next turn.
That's true. Well, maybe. I don't know. I didn't get a beer last time.
Which is why I'm giving you a beer this time.
I will take this one. And not a great time for beer, actually. I will take this 2. Does it make sense? All right. Yeah, another one. Can I do many ones?
Yep, there's your point.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
My turn?
Yep.
I'm going to give you this one here.
Oh, thank you.
And then I will come and grab the gems here.
Mm-hmm.
And that slides down. And that slides down. And I will grab, I'll grab this 3 here.
I'll slide it down for you.
Perfect.
All right. Let's see. I guess I need myself another 2, so I'll take that. Beer's being given.
I'm getting pretty drunk here. Ooh, my turn?
Yep.
Oh, shit, I don't have any beers to give. Damn it. Oh, man. Well, I am going to need rerolls for those numbers. So, guess I'm just going to do that.
Okay, I'll take a beer.
Okay.
Mike, why?
I mean, it's a risk, right? Because I could roll them into dragons and then I'm fucked.
No, you're not allowed to re-roll those.
At the end of the round.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Here's a beer.
Aw.
I'll take the 3.
Oh, he landed as a beer.
And I'll take another one.
Oh.
And that slides. Lots of beer left.
Okay.
Okay, so first thing we do is use our magic.
Yep.
I'm gonna spend my free one for this.
Gonna start with re-rolling my beers.
Yeah, finally, there is something on here besides a 1. Do that one.
Are you for real? How is this even possible?
That one. Ooh.
Spend this.
Got 2 more left. That one. Oh, I got 1 more left.
All right. Well, I regained 2 rerolls, so
Nice.
it's better than nothing. I'm gonna do them individually. I don't think Tabletopia is very good at rerolling things at the same time. So this gotta get used up. I'm doing this one here. Of course, it's a beer. You. This is so depressing.
What are you doing? You scoring over here?
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Let's go through it together. What are you doing?
I'm just trying to speed it up. So, whatever.
This is part of the fun part is seeing how people are scoring.
Yeah, I guess.
So you got 16 from here. Because how'd you get 16 from here? Oh, because you have another 1. Gotcha.
Correct.
And you got 2 gems. Yep.
Yep.
And then you got 6 from all those rock slides.
6 rock slides. Yep.
All right.
So you got it.
Yeah, but yeah, we followed along now.
Yeah.
I have nothing from stones because the rerolls were crap.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And I got 8 points from the dragons.
Yep.
And I got 4 points for gems.
So 8 points for the dragons because there's 4 dragons times 2 shields.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know you times the shields. Nice.
Again, that was part of my rules teach.
If only you said that.
Yeah. If only you listen.
All right. What do I got here? Looks like 12. Is that 12?
1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep. Oh, I should have done that in the Sesame Street thing. Damn it.
Should have done what?
I'm not doing it again.
Did you say Sesame Street?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The 1 through 12 with the pinball. We talked about that.
Oh, yeah.
And then he gets another 12 for his gems.
Right. And then you got 6 gems and you have clear majority. So that gets you another 12.
Woo.
And then you have no hazards. So nothing there. So your total for this round is 24. And 24 plus 6 is 30.
Yep.
Your total for this round is 11. And then your total... Nope, sorry. This should be 11. And this should be 16.
It's way more than 16.
Wow, why... Oh, once you leave it, you start adding to it again. I see.
Forever does it dominate your destiny.
16 plus 6 is 22, so I get 24 for this round, right?
Yep. Which gives you 37. No, 39.
That should be 39.
Yep.
All right. Close game.
All right. Mike's winning. We don't like him now.
All right, so treasure chest can keep... you can keep your treasure chest from round to round. Everything else gets re-rolled.
I'm doing them one by one. I don't care.
Yeah, do whatever you got to do.
I don't like the other way to re-roll.
Not a 1 in there. All right. Got a lot of 5s.
All right.
Some rerolls. That's nice.
Oh, that's going to hurt.
Nice. All right. Should we start populating the mountain here?
Yeah, do you think? A lot of hazards.
Much too hazardous. Oops. Supposed to there. All right. Lowest score goes
Better
first.
be.
Yep.
So that's Katia.
Yep. I'm going to use a beer.
Nah.
Here you go, Michael.
No, give me the
Thank you.
I'm going to grab some dragons here. And I'm also going to grab that beautiful little one that's sitting right here waiting for me to snag it.
No.
There. Yay, I will finally score stones.
Nice, 15 points.
Sorry. Yeah, that has been hurting me so much, not being able to score that.
Well, I'm not hurting for 5s. So that sucks. I have no beers? No beers. Well, well, maybe I'll re-roll the 5. So, hold on. I don't want to leave that there. If I do that, no, that's fine. I'll take the 5. All right. Turn, Mike. Wait. Your choice was my choice. I guess, no, because you had a beer. I noticed nobody's given me beers.
You passed me by 3 gems? Yeah, you're welcome.
You.
That's why you don't roll it. You let her roll it.
Yeah, my rolls are crap.
These need to slide down.
Oh, did you go get that pickaxe?
I sure did.
Son of a bitch.
Hoping to turn
Katia?
into
Are you done with your...
Yeah, I picked my 2.
Here
I
you
slid
go,
them
Chris.
down.
Chris, cheers.
Yay, a beer.
I'm going to grab
Roll
another
it.
one. Come here.
Ooh,
And
that's useless now, right?
Those are useless this round, just so you know.
what?
The treasure
So-
chests are useless
Oh.
because we don't re-roll. This is the last round, so.
Do I want this? No. I may as well get that and hope for reroll on the gem.
I mean, you already have some rerolls, yeah.
No, wait. Yeah. I don't have a choice. Okay.
Man, what is it with the 5s? Again, my choice are 2 5s and a reroll.
Get your 5 and re-roll into something better.
Yeah. I got Yahtzee over here.
That works.
Take the 5. All right, good.
Okay.
Woohoo!
All right.
It's a good one. Okay.
All right. I'm going to give that to Katia.
Oh, you dirty.
It might be dragons. Go ahead. Not dragons. So I'm going to take this one. Which that slides down. Oh, another 5. Yay. If I take that. Anybody have beers left? He has a beer left. Damn.
Not that you believe me, but I'm keeping it because I need it to become a shield. Or else this is my
Makes sense.
6 points. So I'm probably not anybody.
Yeah, but there's other beers in here too.
And
I'm going to take that because I could re-roll it. So, all right.
Okay. Another 5, Chris.
Yeah, another 5. What's with the 5s? Oh my God.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So again, do your magic.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna do my characters rerolls first.
I'm gonna use that
Spend.
Do it again.
on
And
this
again. Yeah.
and this.
What is this? I'll spend that.
Now I get these 2 rerolls. So let's reroll this and this.
Oh, fuck those dragons.
All right. Got another reroll out of it. Got a 2. So already used that one.
I'm gonna use that and re-roll it and risk it.
Time to use this on these 2.
Mm.
Oh my god, I got 2 beers.
Ah!
Beers are worthless, right?
Beers are worthless.
Great. Here we
Nice.
And fuck these.
All right. Well, I lost a point, but I gained some more.
go. That sucks.
Did I steal your gems? Please tell me I stole your gems. No, not even.
No. 3, 6, 7, 8 to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So no, just by 1.
Oops.
Oh, you have 1 on your card though. You did steal his gems.
Yeah, I have 9 total.
And so does he, so he doesn't get them doubled.
Why, Katia?
Well done.
I'm not the one winning. Why are both of you sharing beers and I got nothing from all these whites?
That sucks.
Trash.
Oh, wow. What a waste.
Yeah, well done. All right. You want me to do mine first again?
Sure.
All right. I get 2 gems.
Okay.
That's the easy math. I've got a run of 15 and then 2 1s, so that gets me 17 for my stone.
Yeah.
Oh, not 18. Oh my god. Okay. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times 3
Jesus.
is 27, but I minus 6 from the dragon, so 21 for that. All right, and then the total is 21 and 17 is 38 and 2 is 40. And then the score to beat is 40 plus 39, which is 79.
Yeah.
All
Katia.
right. I have, so for my stone, I have 15 plus 6, 7, so 16 total. No, wait, that's not true.
22,
15 plus 7,
23?
22. I can't do
22?
math. I've been drinking, like I said. I'm pretty loud right now. So after that, so gems are 9.
22. Hold on. 22.
Yeah, gems are 9 points.
9.
And then for hazards, it's 8 times 2, 16 minus 2, 14.
All right. And then your total there is 22 plus 14 is 36 plus 9 is 45. Is that right? That check out?
Yeah, it seems about right.
And then 45 and 16 is 61.
Yep.
All right, Chris.
9 points total.
What?
9 points.
Total?
That's it?
Yeah, he said all of his white didn't count because he didn't have a 1.
Not a single one. With all these rerolls.
So sad for you.
Whew.
And so what, 39 total?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
There you go. Oh, come on. Just do one more. There you go. You want to zoom in on that total there? The total board?
Not at all.
Thanks.
I want to reroll.
Yeah, no kidding. That would have been better.
I
Just
only
that.
got 2 ones. There's your zoom in.
Thank you. So I'm not muted. Blue is me, red is Katia, and yellow is Chris. And I think it was 70. What I have? 79 to 61 to 39. In that order.
Yeah, I had a really rough first round, but nothing beats that last round Chris just had. That was rough.
That was rough, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's Dice Miner.
Yeah, still a good game. But man, that last the fact that this whole mountain was just full of nothing but fives really screwed me over.
You gotta have that magic.
You can't even start with a 1, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Very cool.
There you go.
Not on my top 5 now.
Got demoted.
I would have put it maybe on my top 10, but I'd only played it once and virtually. So I don't think that's a fair. I don't really feel like I can put a game into a list until I play it in real life, you know?
Right. And that game, the rerolls are way better in person than clicking something. Like, it's just not the same.
I think the fun part of it in person is the beer, because it comes with a little dice cup. So you put the beer in the dice cup and you shake it up and put it in front of somebody. So it creates this kind of like exciting moment.
Does that come with the normal game, or is that like the deluxe thing?
It's the deluxe one.
The deluxe thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't all get the deluxe one.
No, but even the regular one is still fun to have that beer and give it to somebody, and then you're like that anticipation of what it's going to be rolled, and you roll it towards somebody. Like it's definitely more fun in person, but it's a fun game.
Yeah,
and the strategy is totally different. Like I lucked out there with 27 points on rock slides. I don't think I've ever leaned into rock slides in the end, but every round I scored a run of stone.
Yeah,
that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I know. I was like, how's he doing that without treasure chest to do that? Good rolls.
Yeah.
So next week we already talked about having Andrew over, and we're going to be talking about our top 5 Star Wars moments. So let's talk about that, because this is usually, like I said at the beginning, we don't talk about rules and all that stuff usually with top 5, but I feel like we need to define a few things here, just so that we're all working on the same thing. So we are covering animation and movies and series that are on Disney Plus, basically. But we aren't covering comic books or things that are considered legend, like had happened in books and stuff like that. Right. So we're only talking about, and there are actually canon books that I've read, and I can actually think of a really pretty awesome moment in like Shadows of the Empire kind of thing. But I think we're just going to keep it film and series, right? And we're not going to do Andor, or we are.
I don't think anything is going to show up from there yet. Even if the series ends up being like up at the top, like I don't think we're there yet in the series, but I'm not caught up.
Yeah, because there's going to be another episode. What episode are we on now? We're at 5. No spoilers or anything, but we're on 5 right now. So 6 will have shown. I think there's 10 total.
Yeah, right? So I think it's too.
So yeah, I think you're right. If there's going to be one huge moment, we're not going to reach it yet, but we can possibly talk about one Andor, at least up to a certain point, because Mike's already seen at least 2 episodes. We could talk about stuff so far, right?
I'll work on catching up on Andor for sure. The only thing, and I don't mind if this happens, I haven't seen Bad Batch. If there's something that you want to talk about, or Andrew wants to talk about, or Katia wants to talk about from Bad Batch, there's no way I'm going to be able to go through it in the amount of time that's left. But if there is, then great. Like I wouldn't ask you to remove that from it, because we're going.
It's not. Nothing from Bad Batch is on my top 5.
Yeah, if I'm trying to think, if there's anything, it might be like an honorable mention in there, but I can honorably leave it out since you haven't seen it. I'm not even sure if that would be the case. So I think you're safe. I think you're safe on that. Okay. And I'm rewatching it right now too. So
I'm just finishing Rebels now for the second time. Yes, so I'm on. I think I have 2 episodes left.
Yeah, we finished Rebels, and then we went on to we went back to Bad Batch. I Bad Batch is basically like Clone Wars season 8, right? But instead of continuing to it, I was so excited to get the Rebels. I just jumped ahead to Rebels. Came back because I'm showing Aaron these for the first time. So yeah, and it'll almost we'll have to like start off a little bit at the beginning saying Star Wars spoilers coming up.
Well, we're going to talk about Essen first, right?
That's true. We're going to talk about Essen first. So. Yeah. Anything else you guys want to cover before we run over to Discord?
No.
All right. So if you don't know, we have a Discord. We go in there into the Bat Cave channel, and we talk a little bit after the episode. The link is in the description. Just come by, join us. Tell us what we shouldn't be missing for our Star Wars, maybe.
Yeah.
Or your favorite dice game.
Yeah, I was just going to say, or come and tell us your favorite dice game.
Or why I'm wrong for not liking Castles of Burgundy, Ron Burgundy, whatever.
Castles of Ron Burgundy.
See you later, Dan. All right.
So we'll see you in there.
All right.
Cool.
Always a awkward ending. We need like we need like I need to make like a ending animation so that when we're like, all right, blah blah blah, I'll just hit it and that'll be it.
We used to have a really good one, and it was you playing the guitar.
You use that as the ending?
No.
I mean,
we could.
That would be a nice.
It would be really good.
No. That one's been lost to the sands of time.
Yeah.
Luckily, YouTube keeps it on the previous videos that it's been used in.
True.
Please like and subscribe. See if we can pick up any more subscribers. We got a good chunk last time. So
yeah, we did.
All right. See everybody later.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.